The year is 1944. The air in the small French village hangs thick with the smoke of war and the scent of rain-soaked earth. For months, Maria's lived in a state of perpetual fear. Her home, once a sanctuary of warmth and laughter, is now a silent, cold shell. The occupying forces had taken everything, leaving only a gnawing emptiness and the constant, chilling presence of soldiers on every corner. One evening, a desperate knock echoes through her house. It's a sound she hasn't heard in ages, a sound that could mean either salvation or ruin. Peeking through a crack in the door, she sees him, a man, an Allied soldier, his uniform torn and muddy, his face etched with exhaustion. He's an American, she realizes, but his skin is dark, a sight she's never seen before. He's alone, and from the way he leans against the doorframe, clearly injured. Her heart hammers against her ribs. Helping him is a death sentence. The local commander has made it clear. Anyone caught aiding the enemy will face the ultimate penalty. Yet, looking into his eyes, she sees not an enemy, but a human being, desperate and in pain. Every instinct screams at her to shut the door, to pretend she saw nothing. But a flicker of something else, something she thought had been extinguished long ago. Compassion stirs within her. Taking a deep breath that feels like a betrayal to her own safety, she pulls him inside, bolting the door behind them. His name is Samuel. He speaks little. His English is soft, deep rumble against the silence of her home. His leg is badly wounded. With trembling hands, Marie cleans. Instead, a silent understanding passes between them. He is a soldier, far from Ame, fighting a war he didn't start. Days turn into a week. Samuel stays hidden in the cellar, a damp, dark space that smells of earth and potatoes. Marie brings him food, what little she has, and fresh water. She changes his bandages, her touch becoming less hesitant, more practiced. In the dim candlelight of the cellar, they begin to talk. He tells her about his home in Alabama, about the sweet scent of magnolia trees, and the family he left behind. He speaks of the irony of fighting for freedom in Europe when he has so little of it back home. Marie, in turn, tells him about her life before the war, about her love for painting, about the husband she lost in the early days of the conflict. In this shared vulnerability, they find a strange comfort. He is not just a soldier, and she is not just a scared villager. They are Samuel and Marie, two souls adrift in a sea of chaos, clinging to a fragile raft of human connection. The risk she is taking is immense. Every footstep outside, every shout in the street, sends a fresh wave of terror through her. But the thought of turning him out is now impossible. He has become a part of her quiet, broken world. One night, the dreaded sound comes. Heavy, rhythmic pounding on her front door. It's not a desperate knock. This time, it's the fist of authority. Peeking through the window, her blood runs cold. A patrol. They're going house to house. Panic seizes her. There's no time. She rushes to the cellar door, her mind racing. "They're here," she whispers, her voice shaking. Samuel's eyes, calm and steady in the candlelight, meet hers. He pushes himself up, his jaw set. "There's nowhere to run," Essayou softly. The pounding on the door grows louder, more insistent. "Open up," a harsh voice commands in accented French. Marie looks at Samuel, her eyes wide with terror. This is it. This is the end. She led them both to this. Samuel moves past her, gesturing for her to stay back. He limps towards the back of the cellar, towards a small, boarded-up window that leads to the garden. It's too small, she thinks. He'll never make it. But he starts pulling at the old boards, his movements urgent but surprisingly quiet. The front door splinters open with a deafening crack. Heavy boots stomp into the house. Marie can hear them shouting, overturning furniture, their voices echoing with brutal efficiency. She stands frozen at the top of the cellar stairs, a silent guardian to a secret she knows will be her undoing. Then, a voice calls out, "Check the cellar." A soldier starts down the wooden steps, his rifle held ready. The beam of his flashlight cuts through the darkness, dancing across the damp stone walls. Marie closes her eyes, a prayer forming on her lips. The light finds her, blinding her for a second. The soldier barks a question at her, but his words are a blur. his attention is drawn to the cellar behind her. He pushes her aside and descends into the gloom. Marie's heart stops. She hears a scuffle, a muffled grunt. Silence. An eternity passes in a few seconds. Then, footsteps, slow and deliberate, coming back up the stairs. It's not the soldier. It's Samuel. He holds the soldier's rifle. In the dim light, she sees the other man lying motionless on the floor below. Before she can process what just happened, Samuel grabs her arm. "We have it, Togu." "Now," he whispers urgently. He pulls her towards the back of the house, but another soldier appears in the hallway, alerted by the silence from the cellar. He raises his rifle, his eyes locking onto Samuel. A shot rings out, deafening in the confined space. But it's not Samuel who falls. It's the soldier, clutching his chest as he crumples to the floor. Marie turns to see another figure in the doorway, an old man, Jean, her neighbor, holding a rusty hunting rifle. He nods grimly at them. "Go." Through the woods, the resistance is waiting at the old mill, he says quickly, his voice raspy. "I'll buy you some time. There's no time for thanks, no time for goodbyes." Samuel pulls Marie out the back door and into the night. They run, hand in hand, through the tangled woods, the sounds of shouting and gunfire fading behind them. The forest is a labyrinth of shadows, but they press on, fueled by adrenaline and a desperate hope. They finally reach the old mill, its dilapidated form a silhouette against the moonlit sky. Figures emerge from the shadows, members of the French resistance. They take Samuel, promising to get him back to the Allied lines. As he's about to leave, Samuel turns back to Marie. The chaos of their escape has settled into a heavy silence between them. He steps closer, the moonlight catching the gratitude and sorrow in his eyes. He gently takes her hand. His voice is a low whisper, filled with an emotion that transcends the turmoil around them. "I have you now," he says. But the words are not a threat, not a declaration of capture. They are a promise, a recognition. Marie closes her eyes, but not in fear. She's not expecting the worst. In that moment, she understands. He means she is in his heart, in his memory, forever. He's not taking her prisoner. He's taking the memory of her courage, her kindness, with him. A single tear escapes her closed eyelid and traces a path down her cheek. "And you," she whispers back, her voice thick with unshed tears. He holds her gaze for a moment longer, a silent acknowledgement of the bond forged in the crucible of war. Then he turns and disappears into the night, with the resistance fighters, leaving Marie standing alone, under the watchful eyes of the moon. She is no longer just a survivor. She is a woman who chose compassion over fear, a woman who, in saving another, had somehow saved herself. The war is far from over, but in her heart, a small flame of hope has been rekindled. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content that explores the depths of the human spirit in the most challenging of times. Your support helps us continue to tell these important stories. We'll see you in the next video.